I want to open up a new topic for the day. A new playlist, if I may. Something where I can review some of the new trends going around. It's a bit tricky, this. Some of which I've had the privilege of actually experiencing for myself. So if I may jump into it, there's this new, it's kind of old now actually. Not old, it's been a while around for a bit. EMS training. Obviously not going to get this right. In EMS training, there's two brands dominating it. One is Bodytec, the other one is Body20. Both very similar, but both very different at the same time. Similar in ways that they have these machines that they use that deliver these electrical stimulating impulses. That's a better word. I imagine those machines are pretty expensive, but just on the similarities alone, these machines work on phases. Yes, there are different settings that you can use, but the main one that they use for both, main setting that they use for both their workouts, apply a 4-second burst of stimulus. This causes a contraction in the muscle groups that they are working. That contraction is then, the prescription from that contraction is that you should carry out an exercise chosen by your trainer, of course, that fights against that resistance, that contraction. And that's basically the workout. Body20 is more daring in the sense that they would use floor exercises, they would use exercise apparatus, probably a bit of dumbbells, steps. Bodytec though, they keep it simple. They don't want to tread too far outside of what is safe, which is applaudable because basics is commonly forgotten. No one sorts out the foundation of what they're training, and it's almost guaranteed that you will feel the workout, especially if you aren't invested in strength endurance workouts. I'm trying to switch hands here. Ooh. Yeah, you might suffer a bit if you're not already training. What else is there? There's the experience. Apart from the induction, the intro, the whole assessment that you'd have to experience, you get kitted up. I'm speaking specifically about the workout now. You get kitted up with a vest and a strap. Underneath that, you are asked to wear what is effectively an undergarment. A tights, some are, never mind. Some people call it a leotard. It's not a leotard. but it is virtually a second skin. They ask you to use theirs specifically at Bodytec. They would hand out, they have stores of these specific clothing that is apparently more conductive to the stimulus, to the impulses. Gosh, I'm never gonna get used to that word, impulses. Where was I? With that undergarment, you are then strapped up around your major muscle groups, your biceps, your quads. There may be extra straps, but that's according to the amount of electrodes that are present on the vest. The vest is your chest, your back, your abs. Basics. If all those contract, it's almost inevitable that the rest of your stabilizers are going to be involved as well. Which is quite interesting, I thought. Back to the point though. These straps get sprayed down with water. The vest as well, before you put it on, just to help the electricity flow a bit better, make you a bit more conductive as a human. So 1 second. Yeah, I just wanted to greet someone. Personally, I didn't like the difference, well, the limitation that Bodytec placed on an individual initially. Good morning. Good morning. Gosh, this is, I'm sorry. Can you see? Bye-bye. Yeah, they're kind of used to me now. Love attention as well. So I didn't like the limitations, but it makes sense in a way, because not all trainers that are qualified, not all personal trainers qualified, or in the league of what I would probably consider a grandmaster trainer. Yes, I said grandmaster. So much sunblock in my eyes. Probably running off the eyebrow, that's why. So you have to be. The problem with Body20, can't believe I'm saying there's a problem with something, is that it's very unlikely that all the trainers that they have in all their franchises are at an elite level. And I hope most of them are sticking to the basics instead of involving different exercise equipment. But that's not to say that there aren't any high quality trainers present. It's just a very big risk to take for a franchise to be allowing their trainers such freedom. Bodytec does a significant amount of research, just like Body20. But Bodytec's argument is that there aren't real benefits beyond certain, when you involve that kind of training. There is a point I want to touch on before I hit on the management styles and the experience that I've had there in those two departments in the EMS circuit. The point that they have compressed the workout into 20 minutes as opposed to what most use as 50, 55, max an hour with personal trainers. This is so wonky. I've read a review somewhere that someone said, it's obviously a fake review, someone said that it's nice to have a 20-minute workout that makes up for a 1-hour workout. Ignorantly said, of course, because EMS training specifically is meant for muscle tone. Muscle tone, the recruitment of muscle, which is advantageous because, well, say you have a poor back, your back is in a poor condition. You start up a few sessions in Bodytec+Body20 and you're now recruiting more muscle fibers than you would normally do. Especially the kind that is anaerobic, the fast twitch muscle fibers. Somewhere I was so upset that I saw on a Body20 ad, I think some guy referred to it as white fibers. Oh gosh. It's not white fibers. It's fast twitch. Fast twitch just means that it has more oxygen readily available within it. So it's able to produce energy immediately. "20 minutes does not make up for the 1 hour because general personal trainers touch on more than just the toning, the muscle recruitment. Yes, you can have a full workout based on that, but there's literally no flexibility done. Although you might encounter some slight gains in flexibility, but that's not the point. There is no flexibility, there is no cardio, there is no speed or power or agility, which isn't a bad thing. But it just means you can now work out in 20 minutes. And because all those muscle fibers are being recruited, there's little chance, there's no chance that you could last over 20 minutes. The research tells you that as well. I won't lie, I'm actually impressed with the amount of research that goes into what they do. They also have workshops, regular workshops for their trainers. That helps a lot with refreshing their memory and knowing what's going on, what's new in the industry specific to EMS training. Shout out to Michael Burbridge. Helped me quite a bit with that. He was actually quite decent as well. You can tell a lot about a man's character by the way that he's able to take up new information without getting offended, without showing that he's insecure about it. Actual willingness to admit that he's not the smartest person in the world, though he's pretty intelligent if you ask me. I mean, it's very hard to have a conversation with me if you're not, or with some people if you're not on a certain level of intelligence. Onto the management styles. This was made very apparent to me a while back, that there are two styles of management. And in the fitness industry itself, it's very fragile, very complex. You can't just jump out of a varsity, jump out of a college and go straight into a management role at a gym. It is asking for chaos. It is not a good recipe. There's no way you can understand a trainer, a personal trainer, what their needs are and how a gym is meant to function based on them specifically. Ideally you would have a manager or a owner, a director of the gym that is also a personal trainer. Those are usually the best gyms because there's a complete understanding and an obvious chemistry that joins up with that. I want to use soccer as an analogy, or I want to compare it to soccer, but that's probably a mistake because I don't believe Jose Mourinho has played soccer, probably at his young ages as a young kid, but he's shown that it's not quite 100% necessary that you excel at soccer before you become a manager. That being said, having been around to a few of these gyms, I found one that actually stood out, head and shoulders above the rest, even above City Bowl. Though there are some absolute unicorns laying around, working around at the different gyms that I sincerely doubt are being appreciated the way they should be. I haven't felt the same welcome, the same feeling, the same atmosphere at any gym that is EMS related as I have at, wait for it, Newlands. Troy knows what he's doing, hands down. Super intelligent as well. Jesus. He has that management style that he is a trainer as well. And he shares the sessions with his trainers. And having seen him work, having seen him do his thing, and if I may use a cricket analogy, a cricket term, a cricket phrase, on field and off field, it's not just what he does while he's working, it's what he does when he's sort of on the sidelines communicating with all clients. His level of communication, his ability to pick up atmosphere and changes in atmosphere, and when something could be leading down the wrong path and then correcting the communication, controlling the atmosphere, absolutely top draw. Probably the best trainer I've ever seen in Cape Town. Just for that. It's not about your skill set alone. It's not about what you learned at school. It's about those extra skills that they don't teach you, those interpersonal, intrapersonal. Your social skills are so important. That being said, I actually don't believe there's another trainer at that level. Well, at our level. But I must add, a big shout out to my man Nick, one of his trainers. The only reason I'm not mentioning that lad as well is because he's far too modest. Super intelligent as well. It's ridiculous having a conversation with him, and You're hearing words that you haven't heard in years from anybody. You know, some people never get appreciated as much as they should be. And I feel if Nick knew how good he was, if he knew just how good he was, he'd also be literally the best trainer I've seen in Cape Town. So that's a shout out. Head that way, you will not go wrong. You will not go wrong. There's no way you'll go wrong there. Other gyms, yes, very likely. Very likely. But Newlands stands out head and shoulders above the rest. I've never felt more welcome at any other gym, more appreciated, more just without, you know, when people don't know who you are and they still treat you like family. It's a very special feeling. So shout out to that. I haven't unfortunately been in a Body20 gym, but I have seen Body20 online. I've done quite a bit of research as well. It's very similar. Nothing amazing, if you ask me. But that's the point. Usually, gyms themselves aren't about what's in it. It's about the atmosphere you can create within it. And the disposition of the trainers as well. I met quite a few people that are simply, I'm gonna have to swap sides here. Simply high quality humans. And that's what you need. I mean, quite a few people that are simply just high quality humans. And that's what you need. I remember speaking to a neighbor a while back, asking for his opinion on what is necessary to be a really good trainer. What he sees is a really good trainer. And he mentioned, he took the time, really appreciated that moment. He took the time, he stopped what he was doing. And he told me, you have to be a very specific type of human. A very specific type of person to go into that field. You can't just pick up a book and say, I don't want to be in an office and start doing personal training. You have to embody the energy, the spirit, so to speak. You have to be logically intelligent. You have to be a problem solver. And that's what I found there. Would I personally take it up myself? Perhaps. I don't rule it out. Not in its entirety, no. I'm far too interested in my own creativity to just use EMS training exclusively. Way too many factors, way too many facets of fitness that I love to delve into. But yeah, that's it. Think about that before you jump into it. So as I was saying, you won't get let down at Newlands specifically. It's quite a serious gym. Can't say the same for other gyms though, as much as I want to. will admit there are people that I've met in certain places that are very impressive, but the rest of them, a bit shocking actually. I could say they're sort of nowhere. Morning. Bit shocking actually. But yeah, nobody has time for such negativity. Nobody has time to speak about such negativity. There's too much going on for that. Focus on the positives. You can, just like with all gyms, you can make the absolute most of everything. So it's up to you. I give it a thumbs up, EMS training. Just not all of them. Pick your gym, that's what I'm saying. Pick your gym. Blessings.